Alan Suter is the former mayor of Ceduna, still lives in the area. And Alan, we're trying to get some detail on just what's going on in terms of behaviour in Ceduna, particularly regarding antisocial behaviour after the cashless debit card was removed. Just what is happening on the ground there?
Well, I heard what Mayor Maynard said, and what he said was quite correct. We had a really horrible situation on our hands, and through cooperation from police, Aboriginal leaders and council and some government agencies, that has been improved dramatically. However, we still have major issues due to the cancellation of the cashless debit card.
And I understand, and we've spoken with Rowan Ramsey, the federal member, quite a bit about this topic. Was there, is it concern about people who've come, I guess, from out of town and whether they're successfully able to get back home? Is that one of the major factors?
It was. That has been addressed. That's what Mayor Maynard was referring to. And, I mean, while we had those extra visitors in town, the situation was truly horrible. But we still have major issues. And I'd point out that today the law is passed in the Northern Territory to reinstate bans on alcohol. Well, the Albanese government has effectively given open slather to alcohol in our area by cancelling the cashless debit card.
So what's the actual situation happening in the street there at the moment? Our own Wayne Phillips, regular visitor to Ceduna, has talked about his concern about the future of tourism in the town if there's antisocial behaviour. What's actually happening there?
Tourism has been damaged by behaviours, but the bigger issue, though, Ricky, is what is happening to families and children. The money that should be available for their day-to-day lives is being now, in some cases, is now being spent on alcohol and drugs and gambling. And as a consequence, we have had a huge outbreak, for example, of shoplifting. Families no longer getting the money they should get, being desperate, I presume. We've got numbers of people camping rough, particularly in our golf course, when there are facilities available for people to stay in. They're sleeping rough in order to drink in many cases. And as a consequence, the area around our golf course is more like a rubbish tip than a golf course. Children are going to school in a really comparatively bad way. They were arriving fresh and well looked after. Now I see from comments in the paper by a teacher that situation has deteriorated. So my biggest concern is the women and children being affected by this change, and that is exacerbated by the refusal of state government to provide any statistics. Anecdotally, people are saying that the number of admissions to hospital because of alcohol-related violence escalated quite dramatically, whereas the CEO of the hospital said, no, that's not correct. Well, why won't the state government release statistics? We've been asking for statistics for years now, and there seems to be a total reluctance to provide those statistics. So what are they hiding?
Amanda Ishworth, the Minister for Social Services, insisted on the removal of this cashless debit program, that A, it was in consultation with local indigenous leaders who wanted this to occur, and secondly, that support services would be in place to prevent antisocial behaviour. How has that actually played out in the community now where we are in February 2023?
There has been an effort, but the support services, we've had them all before, and they've been tried and failed. The only measure that achieved any worthwhile results was the advent of the cashless debit card. So for the government to talk about throwing money, for example, they're talking about drug and alcohol services. Well, we've had those for a long time. And so what are they going to do? Give us new ones or duplicate what's already there? I find what Minister Ishworth says to be very unconvincing.
Alan Suter, you're the former Mayor of Ceduna, someone who lives there, and local community members having to live with what I guess are the consequences of the removal of the cashless debit card. We'll keep looking into this situation. Thanks for joining us today on Flow.
Thanks, Ricky.